Okay, 6th graders, happy Tuesday. Please turn to your next open page in your notebook. Remember, we're going to date it first at the top. And today we are going to talk about the sum and difference of whole numbers. So remember, the sum has to do with addition, and the difference has to do with subtraction. It's very important that we're lining up our place values. So I want you to write that on the top. Line up place values. So anything in the ones place of the first number needs to be lined up vertically, up and down, with the ones place of the second number, okay? So let's get right to it. When we're adding, and I give you 28,485, and I want you to add 43,628. You just stick it into a calculator, right? No way, Jose, you can do this. So I'm going to take this second number and put it under my first number. So I'm lining them up. My ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. Remember, if you get good at this, you don't necessarily have to go from right to left, but it helps to see that they're lined up. Okay, your commas should be in line with each other and so forth. Now I'm adding from right to left. 5 plus 8, 13. So we have to carry the 1. 8 plus 2 is 10. Don't forget that 1 up there. We have a total of 11. Another 10. 6 and 4 is a 10. Plus that 1. We're carrying. 8 plus 3. You got it. It's 11. Plus that 1 more is 12. 4 plus 2 is good. 6 plus 1 is 7. Now we can bring our comma down. So there is our first example. Now I want you to try this next example. 15,821 plus 748,653. How are you going to line up those place values? Well, my suggestion would be to bring this down here. So we're starting, this starts in the 10,000, so I'm going to start my number here. 1, 5, 8, 2, 1. Now I know it's tempting to start right here. 1, 5, 8, 2, 1. But then our numbers aren't properly lined up, and we do not want to do that. Once our place values are properly lined up, we can add from the right to left. 3 plus 1, you got it. 5 plus 2, 6 plus 8, you got to carry that 10. 9 and 5 is another 14. 4, 5, 6, and that 7 plus 0, don't leave that one behind. That seems reasonable to me. Does it seem reasonable to you? All right, now that you're properly lining up your place values and adding numbers, I want you to look at how we could use this in real life. If Chloe bought a car with 42,395 miles on it, and she put on 15,953 more miles on it, and we want to know the total. If we want to know the total, that means we need to figure out the sum. So we need to add those two numbers together. So I'm going to line up my place values and add up these miles. Okay? 5 plus 3 is 8. 9 and 5 is 14. If you guys are having a hard time with your additions, get out your flashcards. You gotta get good at this. Alright, so we want to label that a total of 58,348 miles are now on the car. Now I want you to try this one. If there was, in 2015, there was 262,392 tourists to the beach, and it increased by 17,283, how many did they have the following year? So we want to know how many were in 2016. Well, what do we have to do? Hopefully you know that we have to add to find our total. Am I going to start my 17 here? Oh no, don't do that. You got to make sure they're lined up. That 1 starts under the 10,000s place. Go ahead and try that on your own. Pause your video. You should have gotten 279,675 tourists to the beach in 2016. All right, now I want to look at difference a little bit. Just like addition, when we subtract, we have to line up our place values. So here's your first example. 4,023 minus 751. Well, I want to line up vertically. Okay, so I'm moving the numbers. This is in the hundreds place, this is in the hundreds place, so I'm writing right under there. Again, my place values are all lined up. 3 minus 1, that is something I can do. 2 minus 5, well, there's not enough to take 5 away, so I go to the next place. There isn't anything to borrow from there, so I have to borrow from this whole 40. So if I take 1 away from 40, I'm left with, 39. So now I have 12 minus 5, which is 7. 9 minus 7, which is 2. And 3 minus 0, which is 3. Does that seem reasonable? That seems like a reasonable enough answer to me. Now I want you to try 17,934 minus 5,486. So again, show me how you're lining up. Pause your video. Try and line it up. You should line it up like this. Pause your video. Try and do that subtraction. You don't have enough, so you have to borrow. It becomes 14. You don't have enough, so you have to borrow. It becomes 12. Now, the rest is smooth sailing. Does that seem reasonable? 12,448? Seems reasonable to me. All right, with word problems for subtraction. Mars is approximately 4,212 miles across, and Jupiter is approximately 86,881 miles across. What is the difference in distance between these two planets? So if one is 4,212 and the other is 86,881, and we want to find the difference. Well, does it make much sense to subtract 86,881 from this 4,212? I don't think so. So we need to subtract this over here. This is in the thousands place, so we're lining it right up with the other thousands place. We can't take 2 from 1. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All right. If Sophia's account has a balance of $3,683. So her balance is $683. And she buys a TV for $1,405. How much does she have left? Well, if she buys something, we're taking that amount away, right? So we have to do the math. You try it. Do you see how we set that problem up? Borrow from the 8, it becomes a 7. So she still has $2,278 left. All right, guys, you've got a Google form and an assignment to do. So today we should be able to add and subtract by lining up our place values and being able to use those skills in real life.